Good morning, traders. Happy Tuesday. All right, let me mark off my overnight levels real quick. Haven't done that yet. Asia high, Asia low, and then we got London high, London low. It's interesting lately, the range for London has actually been less than the range of Asia. Asia has been moving a lot lately. Not normal. All right, got it done for NQ. Let's do ES real quick. Oh, this is gold. Yeah, look at that range on ES for Asia. Compared to London, London was kind of just choppy for a couple hours. Crazy stuff. All right, got my highs and lows marked off. Let's take a look at the game plan for today. So, the game plan I shared in Discord, actually, it's funny because I could look at this and be like, oh wow, I was totally wrong. Because what I said was if we reclaim this 25K basically level, if we reclaim value area low from yesterday's session, I would be looking for longs. So to be honest, I was a little bit long biased. Obviously I was wrong. It dropped big time. But the cool thing is I didn't take any trades. Because if I was to follow my game plan, no trade presented itself. It stayed below value area low the whole night. So that's kind of cool. I'm actually learning that that's not a missed opportunity. That's just no trade presented itself according to my plan. So now at this point, we are obviously well below value area low. Let's look. I'm going to go to the 1 hour time frame and take a look at the value area or visible range volume profile. Kind of see where we're at in terms of support and resistance. So I know a lot of you guys have asked me before how I come up with my daily bias, and this is basically what I do. So I zoom way out and get as much price action as I can on the screen. And then look at these high volume nodes. So longs are going to be a little bit tough today because you see all these high volume nodes are right above us. This green line is where price action is right now. So if we're going to move up, we have all this resistance to get through. We have a big high volume node right here where my cursor is from like 24,760 to 24,830-ish. And if I turn my levels back on, I know it's kind of jumbled when I look at the 1 hour chart, but you can see this area marked off right here. That's going to be resistant. So just kind of playing level to level today. If we cannot reclaim that high volume node, there's lots of room down. Man. Yeah. Let's see what we get today at the market open. Right now, it is holding right at previous day low. So that could be a possible area of support. Previous day low a lot of times is We shall see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. What's going on? Yeah, Cloudflare is down, so there's a lot of websites that are down. Haven't noticed it affecting any of the trading platforms, so it should be okay. But not a bad idea to screen record if you guys are trading today, just in case. In case something goes down and you're in a funded account and you end up losing because you can't put in a stop loss or, you know, all that junk that happens. Might not be a bad idea to record your trades. Oh, Verisat, is my date wrong? Oops. What is today, the 18th? What does it say? Let me look. When you shut your markings off, your volume profile goes off on TradingView. So when I do this eyeball thing where it turns off my markings, my indicators can still be turned on. So I don't know what button you're clicking, but that's something that I do to kind of get a clean look at the charts. Because like I showed you guys before, when I moved to the 1 hour and like really zoom out, that looks, I mean, it's hard to see price. So turning it all off is definitely helpful. Is it showing the 17th? Oops, I'll have to go in and fix that. My bad. Yeah, Chichima, so if you're doing the fixed range, like the tools over here on the left under projections and using the fixed range volume profile, that counts as a marking on the chart. So if you turn the eyeball and hide all drawings, that's going to go away. The only way to fix that would be to use the session volume profile, some sort of indicator for that. So someone's asking about news, and I know Forex Factory and all that is not pulling up. The only thing that I have access to is a screenshot that I took on Sunday. And I know those things can change. So according to the screenshot I took on Sunday, what is today, the 18th? Apparently there's only Fed speakers. But I thought I saw something. Isn't there like unemployment claims or something like that today? If anyone in the chat knows, I thought there was news today. Oh, you know what? Someone said Forex Factory isn't working. Yeah, Financial Juice isn't working either. What are some other resources for finding news? I wonder if all the websites are down. Jobless claims and non-farm payrolls are Thursday. I thought there was something with unemployment today. I could be wrong. Honestly, you guys, that's kind of a blind spot right now because I can't check. And I know new stuff is scheduled since that screenshot that I took on Sunday. So I'll just have to keep an eye on that Cloudflare thing. Ah, okay. Yahoo Finance is up. Nice. Thank you. Factory orders are at 10 o'clock Eastern. I knew there was something. Good to know. Good to know. Forex Factory is back up. Cool. All right, guys. Markets open in 2 minutes. You know what, you guys? I was thinking about this last night. I haven't done a giveaway in a long time. So let's get the likes up to 100 today. And we can do a giveaway. How does that sound? I got some accounts to give away. Got some accounts burning a hole in my pocket. All right, put that in the pinned comments. Go hit that like button, guys. Let's do it. Markets open. Let's see if it holds this previous day low and kind of bounces a little bit. It did come down overnight to that previous week low and bounced at a pretty key area. Good little bounce up. I'm not interested in just hopping into a long because it's kind of going against the trend from overnight. Just going to kind of let this settle a little bit. Hope no one got it along. All right. Coming down to London low. Let's see if we get a little liquidity sweep at London low. ES is coming down to London and Asia right next to each other. Didn't quite come down to it, so I could see it maybe coming back a little bit lower. I don't know, that was a pretty big buy up right there. Pretty big bounce. Whoa, there she goes. Good times. Lots of ups and downs in the open. This is why I like to wait, you guys. Unless there's something that's like super obvious and clear. If you were on at the beginning of the stream, this kind of gold zone is that big high volume node that I was watching. So we'll see if it reclaims that. If it breaks and holds above it, it could be interesting. Or that could be the area that we reject and we go lower today. Not quite sure. Gonna see what the market brings us. Looks like it's rejecting that zone. Goodness, you guys. This is this could be breaking people's accounts right now. This is funny. Yeah, Peter, this is nasty. I'm glad I'm sitting and watching this one. This is wild. Breaking necks today. Definitely not the day to be trying to take momentum trades, because you're going to get momentumed into a stop loss. It's playing off of levels pretty nicely. It's all just happening fast. Good morning. Starting to settle a little bit. It is holding above that previous day low, but below VWAP and below that resistance area I was kind of talking about. I definitely see where it's at a decent area of support. It could go up today, but it would kind of make sense to me, at least, to come down a little bit and grab some of this liquidity first if it's gonna have enough steam to go up. I definitely could be wrong, and I'm not afraid to admit it, but I don't feel like it's just gonna go to the moon from here because it never even touched that London low. And then we have Asia low right below it. Same thing on ES. It never actually touched either of these. So I'm not super interested in a long unless it comes and cleanly sweeps this down here. All right, while we are waiting for price to figure out what the heck it wants to do, start marking off. That's our New York anchored VWAP. As of now, this is our 15-minute opening range high, but that could change. We had that initial just crazy up and down and then stuck for the last 4 minutes. It's getting ready. There's some accumulation going on and something big's about to happen. Because it's not usually slow like this in the first couple minutes of the market unless something wild's about to happen. Get ready, guys. I feel it coming. Here's what I think. We're going to dump down to this Asia low and then jump back up. If I was a betting person, but I'm not. I'm not putting money on it, guys. I'm not trading that. So take it as you will. I mean, I might. If it comes down to Asia low and bounces up, I might tick along. We shall see. Better01, could you please explain the trading techniques you use? Yeah, so I use overnight levels. The levels I mark off are volume profile and different like support and resistance levels. I use volume profile to find higher time frame support and resistance, visible range volume profile. And then strategies I use during trading are the initial balance, I use VWAP, and the 15-minute opening range. And then, of course, I use my support and resistance zones to support that and have confluence for all of those. So that's the Cliff Notes version, but I do have, I don't even know how many videos at this point, a bunch of different videos on my YouTube channel explaining my strategies. And then I trade live every day, so you're welcome to come in and watch and learn and ask questions. Oh, waffles. I love your comments. Trading this is like poking dog poop with a stick. You're bound to fling crap on you. Oh gosh. Yeah, especially this chop over the last 7 minutes. It's coming down though. Oh man, I told you guys I wasn't a betting person and I wasn't gonna do what I said it, but if only. All in on red, let's go. Just kidding. All right, coming down to London low. Let's see if it continues and grabs this Asia low. Might consider a long if we get a bounce there. Let's see. Very interesting. NQ is moving down, ES is not. Like in terms of where they are, NQ is at London low, ES is way above it. Kind of makes me think that there's possibly more downside if ES is going to come down and grab these levels too. So NQ could see more down. Angelica, finding the highs and lows for Asia and London, you can do it manually or you can find an indicator and cheat. So if you're going to do it manually, I get the vertical line tool over here, vertical line, and I put one at the market open. So my brain is in central time zone, so convert this to wherever you are, but I put one at 5 p.m. for the 5 p.m. open until 2 a.m. and that'll be the Asia range. And then from 2 a.m. till the New York open would be the London range. London technically goes into the New York session, but I only mark it until the New York open. Or you can get an indicator. I have one called Trading Sessions, and it just shows the highlighted area. Let me go to the 5-minute chart so you can see it a little bit better. So this indicator in particular shows the blue is Asia, yellow is London. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. Well, I didn't take that trade because it did hit London low. I have London low at, so London opens at 2 a.m. Central. So my London low is at 661. Asia low I have at 608. If I'm wrong on the timings, my bad. But honestly, it doesn't matter if it's London or Asia, whatever the label is, because really I'm just looking for a liquidity sweep. Here's our 15-minute opening range low, and we did have this one green candle wick outside of it, and then it came back up and retested VWAP, and it's coming down. So that actually, I would say, is a missed trade in my book, because that's one of my favorite setups. But this is all just happening so fast right now. You gotta have quick fingers. But I love that trade. Like a fake a fake 15-minute opening range breakout, retest a VWAP, and then enter. That was a beauty right there. Did anyone else catch it? Sitting at previous week low. Asia low is right below it, so possible liquidity grab action right there. All right, some of you guys got fast fingers and you took that long, or that short. Good job. I didn't. These are big ranges, you guys. It doesn't look like much, but it's a good day to size down. The 15-minute opening range is 186 points. That's a lot. In terms of a possible long liquidity grab, I wouldn't do it here. If it's a missed trade, then that's fine. I'll deal with that. My reasoning is I have ES next to it. ES still has not come down to this London or Asia low. I just don't want to get caught on the wrong bounce and have it come even lower. So I'll stay patient and wait for the right opportunity. Past your eval, let's go. Okay, now we're coming down to something that might be good. Kind of watching ES and NQ next to each other to see if they both grab liquidity, bounce, kind of get some action together. Wait for it, wait for it. ES hasn't quite hit Asia low. Are we gonna bounce? Are we gonna bounce? What are we doing? Looking decent. Looking decent. There's good confluence for this area. Asia low. I have that high volume node that I marked off. It's also previous week low. All right, I'm in 618.5 is where I got in. It is against the trend. So if I get the opportunity to move my stop, I will. Come on. Nope. It stopped me out. Should have been more patient and wait for that 1 minute candle to close, honestly. Got a little bit too excited about it. Could still work out, just need to wait for the right entry. Or it could keep dumping, you never know. All right, on to the next idea. Kind of just hovering here. Goodness. Our website's back up yet? Oh, they are. The Cloudflare issue has been resolved. So we do have factory orders in 6 minutes. So at this point, might as well just wait. Wait and see what that does. Oh man, this is ugly. Let's see what we got. Oops, wrong chart. If we look left, what do we have going on over here? If this thing's gonna stay heavy, we have these wicks down here in the 24, 420s, that region. We also do have some support here. There was that consolidation, so that the gray area that we're coming to now could possibly provide some support, but at this point, don't want to try to catch a falling knife, as they say. News in 3 minutes. Getting a pretty good little bounce there. Do I only trade NQ and ES? Yeah, sometimes I'll trade gold during the Asia session, but I don't live stream at that time. Previous day low I have at 24,731-ish. This thing is just going down. Does gold move most during the Asia? I don't know if I can say most. It moves really well during the Asia session at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Between like 7 and 9 p.m. Central Time. So 8 to 10-ish Eastern. It moves really well then. I haven't watched it much during the New York Open. I know it officially opens an hour earlier than NQ and ES and all the others. But if you're trading the Asia session, gold is definitely a better mover than NQ. Let's see if we actually get a few green candles. I'm not saying I'm looking for longs, but maybe a retrace to find an entry short. But it's just been straight down. Well, that was our news a minute ago. Wasn't that much of a market mover. And definitely did not hold that level, just cut right through it. Wow. Let's see if it grabs some of this liquidity here at 420s, or if it just keeps dumping. Coming down fast. Yeah, Verisat, volatility is back. The summer slowness is over. Government's back open. Put it all on red, seriously. Just market order in for a short at this point, right? These are the days where I'm like, dang it, why did I patiently wait for an entry when I could have just got in and won? That's all right. I'm a big believer in the fact that I don't want to do things like that because then it just reinforces bad habits. Because that's not something I want to do on a regular basis, just guessing and like riding momentum, because in the long run, you're going to end up getting screwed big time and blow accounts. So if I do it once and end up profitable for the day, then it's going to reinforce those habits of like, oh, maybe I should do that more often. And I don't want to do that. 4-hour major zone. Yeah, that's why I zoomed out to the 4-hour and I can see all these wicks over here if you look left. Right at like 420-ish. 413 to 424. If there's gonna be a bounce and maybe get to a pullback. If anyone's new here and haven't learned this lesson yet, don't try to take a long at that level. I mean, maybe if you're a scalper and you've done it before, but in my experience, it's not a good idea. You don't want to try to catch a falling knife because it can always fall harder than you would expect and further than you would expect. I say that, and then it bounces. Oh, man. Hope you guys all read that disclaimer on my live stream. Not financial advice, right? Like, we're coming into a good level. Don't long at this level because you don't want to catch a falling knife. And then we bounce right at the level I was telling you guys. 80-point bounce. What's up? Don't listen to me today. All I can do is laugh. So if we get a bounce all the way up to this area right here, I'm not saying it's going to happen because that's still another 100 points away. But there's good confluence for this area for a retrace to enter short. We got the New York anchored VWAP right at the 15-minute opening range low. So, and it's actually the top of a high volume node. So I like to play the edges of those areas. And kind of the same type of setup is happening over here on ES too. Anchored VWAP is sitting right at the opening range low. Again, that's a big bounce, so we'll see if it gets there. But if both of these areas are hit at around the same time, could be a decent short opportunity. Let's be patient, see what we get. That's in like the 630 to 640-ish region on NQ. ES, that's kind of around 6642 to 45-ish. We still have about 20 minutes until the initial balance is set. But where we stand now, this is our low. Oh, we got 59 likes. 95 people watching, 59 likes. Does no one want me to give away an account today? At least 40 of you in here haven't hit that like button yet. We could probably get to 100 right now, just the people watching. I do have an account to give away, guys. I realized I hadn't done one in a while, so I have a few stacking up. I might be able to do one, I don't know, every day the rest of the week. That would be fun. Aw, don't drop here. I wanted you to come to my zone. Go back up. Go back up. That doesn't work. You've tried? Darn. What if I yell a little bit louder and put a little more passion behind it? I have a good mom voice. I can totally yell and like talk sternly. Do you think it'll listen if I use my mom voice? You better get your butt back up to the region I want. Ah, good times, good times. Do I like fixed range volume profile? I do. So I cheat and have an indicator called SVP. It shows the session volume profile. But that's basically just the same thing as if I used the fixed range volume profile tool and anchored it at the 8:30 session and dragged it over. So we're coming up to point of control right now. But yes, to answer your question, I like it a lot. I mostly use it for the New York session. I did use it for the overnight session a lot when we were up at all-time highs weeks ago, last month, whenever that was. Just because we didn't have a whole lot of support and resistance zones to go off of on the higher time frame. So I kind of felt like I was a lost fish up there. So I was using the overnight volume profile to have some sort of idea of support and resistance zones that I could go off of. Well, now we're kind of just chopping around, deciding what we're going to do. I know we're on the 1 minute, so can't put a whole lot of weight on it, but there's a little higher low. Gonna make a higher high, maybe? Not saying I want a long, but just looking for a continuation to maybe come up here and then see how we react at this level, see if we want to take a short off of it. The mom voice commands all. I hate to use it, but it is effective with my kids. NQ's not listening. Doesn't work on NQ. Continuing down a little bit. So when I zoomed out to the 4-hour chart earlier, remember those 4-hour candle wicks were down to like 620s or 420s, 24, 420. So we do have a little bit lower to go if we're going to hold that area. Could come lower, obviously. Not super clean price action right now. Kind of just floating around. Oh, we got 77 likes. We're close. Let's get it. Is anyone else still holding a short for lower levels? I know we have a couple traders in the chat who are the type that'll like get one entry and hold it for their whole target. So I'm curious if some of you have a target much lower. What are you targeting, Rocket? Are you still in the chat? I know you said you were in a short. Where do you think it's headed? Looking at the 5-hour chart, this kind of looks like it's, I don't want to say this is the bottom. That's not what I'm saying at all, but kind of starting to base a little bit for a move up. So might be getting that bounce that I was waiting for. ES needs to go a little lower to hit the same lows NQ did. Oh yeah, I can see that. NQ came within like 10 points or so from it. ES, not quite. The general vicinity, yes, but all right, it is coming up to the New York anchored VWAP. I would prefer it to come up closer to the top of the high volume node. Like I said before, I like to play the edges of the ranges. So I'm waiting to see what kind of reaction we get at 24,645. Verisat, you haven't taken a trade yet? That's actually impressive. You should probably be proud of yourself for that, because you're a scalper. I mean, a lot of times you've taken 20 trades by now. I'm going to be careful with a short because NQ did come down to that 4-hour support area. It wasn't the reaction that I love for a typical liquidity grab where it's just a quick like bounce below and obvious buy up out of it. But it did come down to that level. So if we are continuing short, I'd like to see a a clean rejection of either the 15-minute opening range low, or it could come all the way up to the session VWAP at closer to 700. So I'm not going to just put a limit order on and like immediately enter. I want to see what happens up here. ES and NQ are both at the same spot, right at that anchored VWAP. That was a pretty clean rejection right there. Wonder if it's going to continue down from that spot or if it will retest a little higher. You guys, these are big ranges. Like even just that move up right there, that was a 172 point bounce. Again, good reminder to size down today. Man Smooth is killing the scalping game today. Good stuff. All right, again, both of them are sitting right at that anchored VWAP. Let's see if it comes up a little higher. Moving on up. Again, rejecting that level. No bueno. Yeah. Price action has been hard today. Hindsight is always 20/20, of course, but you can see that pretty clean trend line. Like, obviously not exact touch points necessarily, but it just is a nice angled down. And then as soon as it broke out of it, it's been a good bounce from there. The question is this going to continue higher? Like, is that our bottom of the day? Or is it going to come up to one of these levels that I'm watching and continue lower? That is the question. Lots of money to be made if you're a scalper today. Even these 1 minute candles are huge moves. Like this rejection of VWAP right here. If you caught most of the move, that was a 65-point candle. That one red candle right there. That's a lot on the 1 minute chart. Consolidating right here kind of makes me feel like it is getting ready to move higher. Or it could be accumulating to get ready to move lower. Whatever it's consolidating for, something's about to happen. All right, guys, 20 more likes, and we'll do a drawing. Let's do it. If you haven't hit that like button already, go hit the like. Bouncing back up again. Oh, are we going to break out of that consolidation zone? Or are we going to just move right back into the chop? $15-minute chart looks like it wants to move up a little bit. $5-minute still looks pretty choppy. We do have our initial balance set at this point. So if it comes down to the bottom of the range, could be a decent area for it to hold support, or possible like fake breakout and then reclaim. So that's something to watch for. Coming lower. There you go, Verisot. Verisot. Good discipline. So 2 areas I'm watching for a reaction at. If it comes back down to this initial balance low and either bounces or like breaks out to the downside and then reclaims it quickly, kind of a liquidity grab kind of thing. Or if it comes back up to VWAP or the 15-minute opening range low, possibly taking a short from there. But right now, it's kind of just chopping around in the middle of nowhere. Do I trade ES or MES? Honestly, since ES is a smaller risk per contract, I could trade ES. I usually do MES though, just because I like to scale out of trades. I like the ability to take off a couple of contracts at an area of interest and then leave runners. And if I traded ES, I wouldn't really be able to do that because then I'd have to trade 2 contracts or more, and that's a lot. That's a big position size. Done for the day and locked out. There you go. That's a good feeling. Still kind of hovering. 13 more likes, you guys. Let's get a duck race going. I think that would be more fun than watching this. Go hit that like button. All right, you guys. I don't normally ask which account you want, but I have a question. I have a TradeDay 50K end of day account, or I can do a Lucid 50K test account. What would you guys rather do? TradeDay or Lucid? Both of them are 50K. Both of them are end of day drawdown. Both of them are evals. TradeDay or Lucid? What you want? What you want? Verisat's like, either. All of them. Give me all of them. I'll put a form in the chat for you guys to enter your name. I'll do it in a little bit. Yep, I think the chat has voted for Lucid. You don't have faith in your duck? Have you not been working out? Haven't been doing your sprints, your reps in the gym? All right, getting the form ready because I have faith in you guys. I have faith that we can get up to 100. Let's go. Oh, getting a bounce again. $93, let's go. All right, let's see what the 5-minute chart looks like. A bunch of ugliness, that's what it looks like. Yuck. No, I made the account for we'll do a giveaway for Lucid. Seemed like that was what the majority of the chat votes were. But like I said, I haven't done a giveaway with you guys in a while. So maybe we could do one tomorrow. I have a couple stacking up. So I'll do Lucid today, and maybe I can do TradeDay tomorrow. Man, it's not hitting either of my levels. Initial balance low or up here in the VWAP area. Oh, we got it. 100 likes. All right, cool. I already got the form created. Let me put it in the chat. There you go. Fill out that form. Just put your name and YouTube name so I can identify you, give you a duck. We'll give you guys some time. Maybe we'll do it at 6 minutes, 9:50 Central, 10:50 Eastern. So click on that Google form and enter your info there. Oh, G-Man. Karma's gonna come back to you, G-Man. There was a day that G-Man won the duck race, but I think it was Lucid or maybe it was TradeDay, I don't remember, but it was a prop firm that you were already maxed out. You had your max allocation, so you're like, give it to the next person. And he hasn't won since. This was definitely one of those days. I think someone said it in the chat earlier. But definitely one of those days that if you didn't just catch that momentum at the open, there hasn't really been a great trade opportunity since then. Maybe a couple of choppy scalps, but nothing good. Ah, what did I do? If you guys didn't hear me earlier, we are doing a giveaway. So I did put a Google form in the chat. There's a link in the chat. Fill that out. Here in about 3 minutes, we'll do a duck race. See who won. I haven't done a good job of training myself to watch the QQQ, but that would have helped a lot with in the initial market volatility at the open, knowing that the direction would have been shorts because it filled that gap. Go to the 1 minute chart. There was a gap there. Came up, pretty much filled it, and came back down. What is gold doing? Moving on up. All right, it's making its way down towards this initial balance low. Let's see if it holds. See if we get a bounce here. ES is a little bit further away from its initial balance low than NQ is. See if they both touch and bounce around the same time. That would kind of give a little bit more confluence for it. All right, you guys, last call. If you haven't filled out the form, if you want to enter the drawing, go fill it out. It bounced. It did not come back down to initial balance low. Wonder if that's kind of a fake bounce and is going to come back down and actually touch it, or if it's going to be rude and bounce without touching. I was waiting for it, man. If you're going to bounce there, that's just mean. Messed up. All right, guys. Form is closed. Let me grab all of these. Do a little sort. Make sure we don't have any duplicates. All right, got them all. Nope, haven't done the race yet. Grabbing everyone's names right now. I think that'll be more fun than watching this choppy price action anyway. Let's go. No, Waffles, I saw you sneak in at the last second. I got your name on there. I got you. Okay. May the best duck win. Quack, quack. On your mark. Get set. Let's go. And we're off. Eva making a run out, starting off hot. Billy Ray just chilling with his top hat on. We got punk rocker Duck Payton making a move. King Duck Kevin. Oh, I think that's going to be too soon. You got to save some energy. Got to leave some gas in the tank. Mom voice. Lots of moving around here. Sometimes the race is just even and no one makes a move, but you guys are ebbing and flowing. Back and forth. Oh, Renzo. I think you turned on the boosters too soon, bud. Someone's going to come from behind. Who's going to make the move? We got Buddy at the bottom of the screen. We got Dave. Uh-oh. Renzo. G-Man. That was a close call. Dave. Dave barely got that one. There were like 2 or 3 people making a move at the end there. Dave. Is Dave in the chat? Where are you, Dave? Let me find. All right, Dave, if you're here, comment in the chat. Must be present to win. All right, Deadeye Dave, there he is. Good stuff. Are you in Discord, Dave? If you are, send me a message and I will get that account over to you. It's a 50K Lucid test account. Cool. Yeah, send me a message in Discord and I'll take a look when I get to logged in later. We're all a bunch of adults cheering for ducks. And the best part is, a lot of you guys are like working right now. You're like sitting in your office and your boss could walk in at any moment and there you are like, come on, Ducky, let's go. And we're like, what the heck are you doing? I love it. Duck race is better than NQPA today. Yep. That's why I thought it'd be fun to do a duck race. Change up this pace a little bit. How often do I go live? I do it pretty much every day. Monday through Friday at the New York Open. I am not planning on live streaming next week. I will be out of town. We're going to my father-in-law's house. He has a little farmhouse. So we actually bring our travel trailer. We have a 33-foot trailer that we take camping. I can't even call it camping because we have like a full-on kitchen and beds and stuff. I think camping is like in a tent, not climate controlled, with a little like portable stove. That's what camping is. So this is fancy camping, glamping. Anyway, since he has a small little ranch house, and we have cousins and aunts and uncles, and my mother-in-law comes, so we have a whole family there. Anyway, the reason I brought that up is I'll be in the trailer. Not really great live streaming setup. You guys would hear lots of screaming kids in the background. So it won't be live streaming next week, but I will be watching the charts and trading if a setup presents itself. So I'll still be active in Discord, like sharing my levels and trade ideas and all that. Yeah, trading volume will be down next week anyway. So it's not a bad idea to take the day off, take the week off. Or maybe trade like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly. Definitely Thursday, Friday off. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Same thing with the week of Christmas and the week after Christmas. That's another good time to take some time away from the charts. For all of us degen traders who struggle with like turning off the charts and not trading, that's kind of a forced vacation, if you will, because volume sucks anyway. All right, coming down, it's definitely at IB low. Let's see if there's a little liquidity grab. Remember that 4-hour zoom out that I did earlier? The wicks are right here at this level, right around 400. So if we do get a quick bounce up and reclaim of initial balance low, I'll be watching for that. But this is not looking great for longs right now. Looking pretty heavy. Do I stream all day? No. I usually wrap up about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the open, depending on price action. Like right now, I'll probably call it soon just because this is choppy. But I want to see what happens at this initial balance low. If price action is good, though, sometimes I go 2 hours. Oh, I still have the duck race turned on. There's quacking in the background. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. I just noticed that right before you commented, Chichamis. Glamping is way better than camping. Yeah. Especially now that I'm an adult. Like when I was in college and I didn't have the budget for a nice vacation, not even a nice vacation, like didn't even have the budget for a hotel room, you know? Camping was a really fun vacation. Because we used to camp at the river and it's like $15 a night. And then you just eat like sandwiches and hamburgers and drink beer, and it's a really cheap weekend. But once I got a real job and I could afford air conditioning, I'm like, no thanks. All right, let's see if this gets a bounce and quickly reclaims this initial balance low. Could be a decent long opportunity. Looking at the 4-hour to kind of show you guys why I'm saying that. We have all these wicks down here that it dropped below. So I would want a lot of activity, a lot of buying if I'm going to enter a long. So still waiting, staying patient. Let's see. I would also like it to reclaim this initial balance low. Looking decent. You live off the grid, so it's like camping every day. Nice. That's awesome. Except I'm guessing you have like solar panels, so you have power and air conditioning and running water and all that stuff. So not quite camping. Unless you don't have all that, then there you go. That's pretty cool. All right, Waffles, have a great one. Time to go do real job stuff. Mom Bucks, good stuff. I'm glad to hear that you recovered from yesterday. Just to reiterate what I said yesterday, don't count the days. Don't start getting caught up in doing the math of like, okay, if I just make $600 a day for the next 2 days, then I can get a payout. Because then that leads to starting to force setups, and that's never a good mindset to be in when you're trading. So just be patient. It could be in 2 days, it could be in 2 weeks. But if you stay patient and take the right trades, it'll happen. All right, we're at initial balance low. Let's see if it reclaims. I would like to see some volume showing that buyers are interested at this level. Something like that. I like that. Explain the difference between MNQ and NQ. Do they move the same or not? Yes, they do. Every once in a while, there's tiny discrepancies, like there's a wick here, but not on the other one. But the charts are the same. I was about to say they're mirror images of each other, but I guess there can be tiny discrepancies. But they're pretty much the same. The difference is the dollar amount that you're risking per contract. MNQ is 10% of what NQ is, so I would recommend all beginners start off with MNQ. Trade the micros. All right, I'll give it a couple minutes to see if it comes back down and retest this initial balance low area. If it doesn't, I'm gonna call it quits and not trade for the rest of the day, or maybe come back this afternoon and look. But I took that one loss this morning and then was kind of just choppy after that. And I was watching for it to reclaim this initial balance low, which it did, but I'd be chasing it at this point. If this is the bounce, it could come all the way back up to this gold zone at like 24,781. That's where I'd be looking for it to return to. That's a great example of a liquidity sweep though, you guys. I know there's quite a few new people in the chat. So zooming out to the 4 hour, you can see all these wicks down here. So it swept below those, and then you saw the volume come in. So this is the 1 minute chart. You saw volume kind of start to increase right here on this candle. You can see it on the bottom of my screen where my cursor is. That's the one that kind of just got the momentum going back up. Let's see if we can get back out of this chop zone, though. We're not out of the woods yet. All right, guys. Doesn't look like we're coming back down to test this initial balance low. That could be the bottom for the day. And we're just getting some major momentum to the upside. All right, if you guys haven't already, click the link in the description, join the Discord. Lots of people sharing stuff in there, asking questions, trade ideas, all that stuff. And then if you are looking for a new prop firm account, use code Krista. I'd appreciate the support. Otherwise, thanks for joining me today, you guys. It was much more fun trading with you guys than watching the chop by myself. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.